Yes, hi. Good afternoon. This is John Estrata, and we are broadcasting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome to Conservative America. I'm your host, John Estrata. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world today and in the United States. One of those really terrible things is a person died in prison in a foreign country. And what do you think about the idea that we shouldn't make any deals for hostages? Or do you think we should make deals for hostages? Or if one of our hostages is killed or dies, should we retaliate for this bad situation that's going on? I'm a firm believer that we definitely have a responsibility to ensure that all citizens are protected, and that we should not let terrorists get away with holding hostages or get away with hurting any American citizen. So hopefully there is some payback on the tragedy that took place. Let me get to that story real quick, and we'll talk about that. But it's pretty sad stuff that people die from. His name's Otto Warmbier. Basically, he died with North Korean detention. So they basically held him too long, and he died, and that's not a good thing. So we'll see what happens with the Trump, what he decides to do regarding this issue. If you would like to call in and talk with me about this subject, terrorism and hostages, and what we should do with that, please call me. Let me know what you believe and how you feel about that subject. That's a really, really important subject. One more thing that's going on today is we had a pretty great Father's Day. I miss my father. He passed away last year, and so this is the first year without having him around. But I do still have his memory and his love, and I appreciate my hero forever. So I guess the topics can be always make America great. You know, if you feel like you have an idea on how to make America great, or are we missing the boat someplace, or something that President Trump has to do, or Congress, or even the local, state, or national affairs, if it's something that will make America great again and make us, I guess, more of a united country. I think that would be very good. Or is that important? You know, some people just think that all they need to do is have 50% plus one, and that's good enough. You know, maybe we'll never ever see that United States of America anymore. Maybe we won't be united. Maybe we will always be divided. Let's see. We might have a caller here. Let me see. Hello? Yes. Hey, Chris. You got a moment to be on the air? Yes, I'm broadcasting right now, live. Okay, I'll put you on. Hold on. Okay, Chris?
Yes, sir.
You can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, very good. Anyway, Chris is a pretty amazing guy. He is a United States military veteran, been in the political arena for many years, and has a lot of wise and smart ideas on how to make America great again. And so he called in at the right time, and so I'm going to give him an opportunity to be on. Chris, first of all, before we get started, why don't you just give our audience just a brief idea on who you are and where you come from and what you think about this idea of Make America Great Again.
I was born and raised in Central California in Fresno. I enlisted in the Marine Corps out of junior college. I spent 9 years in the Marine Corps, active in reserves there in the 90s. I enrolled in state, earned a bachelor's degree in international politics. I worked and interned spring and summer of 1995 in the D.C. area during the whole impeachment era. Earned a master's degree in the University of San Diego for 10 years, from about 2000 to about 2010. I worked grassroots politics up and down California, from San Diego through Sacramento, various grassroots issues, campaigns, various topics and issues, worked for various elected officials. Got into teaching and education for a while, and now I'm just doing a lot of rabble rousing while trying to figure out the next chapter of my life.
Anyway, and you're also a pretty decent, good writer too. So, if somebody wants to get in touch with you or connect up with you, why don't you give our audience your contact information? Facebook or whatever, social media or whatever way you want to give it.
I can be found on Facebook. There are two Chris Skepticals that I know of. One is a former hockey player in Canada, and the other one is me. I am also on LinkedIn. I have an array of skills. I have a teaching credential. I have a master's degree, bachelor's degree. I have writing, research skills, outreach, organization. I also know how to strategize and look at planning and implement ideas. And it's just a matter of stepping up and taking the offensive. We have been on our heels for way too long and been on the punchy bag. And I'm just afraid that 2018, people are just going to sit back, and if the GOP is true to form, they're going to be too afraid to step up and fight and take some offensive, and we're just going to get battered in 2018. And nobody's going to run with the ball, step up and fight. Sun Tzu once said, the best defense is a good offense. Take the ball and run with it. Just like what Captain Chamberlain did at Will Roundup at the Battle of Gettysburg. You had the high ground, even though you had the fewer forces, and you charged it up on an offensive. You take the fight to them, and you put them off their heels. Donald Trump did that in 2016, and look what happened.
Yeah, sort of like the idea, make things happen, or wish things would happen, and finally those are the people that wondered what happened. And you're absolutely right. It doesn't look very promising for 2018 if they don't get the leadership. And I think you've been pretty critical of the leadership of the Republican Party and so have I. I'm not very happy with that process. And I truly believe either you lead, you fall, or you get out of the way. And in this time to make America great again, you definitely have to lead. So.
There is an opportunity. Maybe not. We may not win everything in 2018, but we can start reversing the course, because the course that we've been on, it's going to take a couple of cycles to start turning that ship around. But it just started happening in 2018. People are angry about the gas tax. When Bay Area newspapers are attacking Democrats in Sacramento, you know they've gone too far. When you have Democrat candidates, you have the choice of Bay Area liberal Gavin Newsom. You have Lauraza liberal Antonio Villaraigosa. You have Portland liberal Tom Steyer, and you have Looney liberal Elaine Eason. Pick your poison. One of those five most likely is going to be our next governor, because we don't have an organized opposition to that going into 2018.
Well, and I think the problem is that a lot of the California Republican Party leadership basically are putting the white flag up even before anything's started.
No, I'm not going to say when or how I know this, but there isn't a plan. There isn't an organized, established candidate. Only who the Republicans are putting up there. A guy who ran for a county position in Chicago. That's our gubernatorial candidate.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a my concern last year, I think it was last year, or year before, when the U.S. Senate race was up. My concern was that the Republican Party didn't even endorse any of the candidates, and it was sort of like an afterthought. And I think it sends a very mixed message, like it's not that important.
It's not that important. And we as Californians are looking like fools right now. When you have senators, even from her own party, are telling Kamala Harris to shut up during Senate hearings on national TV.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And of course, the media have to cover up. Oh, look at her. She's a smart woman. She's got them afraid. No.
Well, but she not only is she a fool, she's not very smart. She's one of the stupidest politicians I've seen. Unfortunately, she comes from San Francisco Bay Area, and all the money's behind her right now. And so they're trying to.
All the money comes. Well, everything is coming from the Bay Area now, to the point that the entire Democrat Party has itself. Did you by any chance see the Tucker Carlson interview with Jason Whitlock, the sports broadcaster?
No, actually, I've been watching too much TV recently.
Okay, well, Jason Whitlock used to be on ESPN, and he now has his own show on Fox Sports. And he said something interesting, and I wrote about this a couple weeks ago. And he said, if you've noticed, the paradigm shift in the Democratic Party has shifted from the established, traditional New York East Coast liberal to the San Francisco liberal, San Francisco Bay Area liberal, and it has to do with Silicon Valley money and the establishment of where the power base of the Democratic Party is, Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi comes from there, so she holds those purse strings.
Yes.
Look at who the leadership is in California. Jerry Brown, Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi. They hold those purse strings for the Silicon Valley tech money. And if you want those billions of dollars from the Zuckerbergs, from the Bill Gates, from the Sergey Brin's, from those people, from the Tom Steyers, you're going to dance their little dance.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to see a penny.
Yeah.
And you have seen that fundamental shift. So why has the Democrat Party turned this crazy liberal social left? It's because that's where the money is, and it's in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. That's the power base for the Democratic Party. And
it's no New York corporate beach where there is some negotiation, and they can go to the country club and the golf course and and laugh it up with the public. It's a new absolutism.
Yes.
There is. It's like what. It's like Solowinski where he said, you don't negotiate 50-50, you negotiate at 100%, get 70%, and then protest to get the other 30%.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're seeing right now with the Antifa, what we're seeing up in Berkeley, what we're seeing with these protests all over.
Yeah, today there was a death by the hostage Otto, North Korean, and what do you think? That sort of was the top of the story. Top of the show. We start out with that thought in mind. What do you think about that? Do you think we should retaliate, or do you think North Korea needs to be dealt with? What do you think about that?
Honestly, he was in their country. He broke their rules. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was getting into when he stepped onto their soil. It is why I'm a former Marine. You won't see me anywhere near Pyongyang. The closest I ever got to there was the island of Okinawa. You don't see me making any vacation plans to go visit Pyongyang.
Yeah.
Okay? They used to tell us when we were deployed, we are in their country. We are subject to their laws. Whether we were in Hong Kong, whether we were in Dubai, whether we were in Phuket, whether we were in Malaysia, Thailand, whether we were in Manila.
Yeah, and you were the ambassador to the United States too.
Yes, we were representing America. We were subservient to their law that we had some legal protections, being military and all that stuff, travel with a buddy. He snagged a propaganda poster and tried to hide it, okay? Now, is that a little slap on the wrist? No. But you also have to remember, this is North Korea. They are schizophrenic to begin with.
Yeah.
Am I sorry that he did? Absolutely. Was it silly to begin with? Yeah. But did he need to go to one of their crazy labor camps and have what happened to him? No. But at the same time, he was on their soil and he broke their laws. And someone somewhere in that group he was traveling with should have known better and should have had better reins on them. He was in their country and he was messing around on their soil.
And so you're not in the mood or the idea of negotiating for hostages.
With North Korea?
With any terrorist organization or anybody that tries to use Americans as hostages, I would assume you're not in favor of that, would you?
No, I'm not. However, when we sit down, or when we have one of their generals or one of their big boys, I'm of the belief that the Geneva Conventions and the Geneva Accords does not provide sanctuary to spies and saboteurs on purpose, because spies and saboteurs provide for a clear and present threat at the time during the war, which was why FDR, if you remember during World War II, several German spies were landed on the East Coast of the United States. About 6 were landed in Florida and 6 were landed in New York. And they were almost immediately captured. They were tried as spies in one room, and they were taken into another room, and they were hung one at a time. They were tried as spies, which is why the United States government will be able to do that as quickly as they want. As far as I'm concerned, terrorists are not a part of any recognized country or any recognized military. They have no human rights. They have no rights under the rule of law. They are outlaws. They are criminals, and thus deserve no rights and no privileges under the rules and articles of war.
So enhanced terrorist methods of getting information, you wouldn't have a problem with that either.
If between you and me, Jennifer, if going Jack Bauer on a terrorist is one American life, all I have to say is red is positive and black is negative.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sort of like during wartime and during like you. I'm in total agreement with you. Is that if a terrorist does something, they don't have any rights.
No, they don't. You always see in the old World War II movie under the Geneva Conventions. Well, the Japanese, who were signatories to the Geneva Conventions, sure didn't pay attention to the Geneva Conventions during the contact mark. They sure lost their copy. Just asked the 4th Marine Regiment and the Filipino Army.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was war as hell.
Yes. Yes. And there are more than a few American pilots now attest to that the Germans sure followed the Geneva Convention to the letter when they were in those POW camps, because it sure the heck wasn't Hogan's heroes. Yeah,
so basically the world wants the United States to follow the Geneva Convention, but everybody else says they don't have to do it.
Yes, because it is, and I'll tell you why they do that, John. It's because it's a security blanket for the rest of the world. They don't realize how strong and how powerful the United States is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the United States has the power to project its force and its might around the world many times over. How many carrier task forces do we have? 18? 22? How many do the Russians have? 5? 6? How many do the Chinese have? They're just putting their first one out.
Yeah.
And the United States has 18 functioning with another 4 more that can be put out in a short time.
Yeah, and I think President Trump wants to put more out there too. So I think it's a good sign that America definitely has the military might to do what it takes. That's important.
If I put the United States in a box like that, it makes the rest of the world feel better. It makes Sweden feel better. It makes Liechtenstein feel like their inferiority complex.
So in other words, they want the life to be fair.
Yes. Yes. It's the old socialistic thing. It's like being picked on the old on the basketball courts back in elementary and middle school. United States, the Russians, the Chinese, and to the extent the British, and you can throw India in there, are the bigger, better players on the court. And then you got some of the smaller countries, the smaller kids that sometimes play and sometimes get in there and don't get picked. And then we got all these feel-good types that say, oh, well, we got to include them because we got to include everybody to feel good. And feel-goodisms that we know all too well.
So, yeah, it's like you go back in history during World War II, and a couple of our great generals came up with the idea of taking out China and Russia, Patton and MacArthur. And had the United States done that originally, can you imagine what the world would be like today?
If MacArthur was allowed to go in and support Shanghai Czech and roll over General Mao or Chairman Mao, that alone would have been enough to keep Russia in check for a long time, because Russia would have been boxed in, and Patton wouldn't have had to go all the way into had to do was push the Russians back to back across the Rhineland, out of Czechoslovakia, out of Poland, and back to the Russian border.
Yeah. Yeah, the original.
Yeah, pre World War II.
Yeah, yeah.
And the reason why the satellite tape were put into place was because Western Europe had invaded Russia one too many times. Napoleon, through the Crimean Wars, through all those wars, and he didn't trust the Americans, and he wanted a little buffer, and he had his little buffer right there on the Rhineland.
Yeah, it seems like you have a lot of fire in the belly there, Chris. So let's get back to domestic issues here. Do you think Congress, our leadership in the Republican Congress, needs some changing?
So, with the Republican leadership, you have someone. I think Paul Ryan, despite what they may say, I think Paul Ryan's the accidental speaker. I think Paul Ryan was happy where he was as the budget chairman, doing up the numbers, and going on TV and doing anything. I think he was happy doing that. When Kevin McCarthy was rejected, that is what threw everything in the air. Who can organize and bring Congress under leadership right now? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a Newt Gingrich type in Congress right now?
Well, I mean, let me ask you this: there was talk of bringing somebody like a Newt back into it.
My personal opinion, part of the problem with the leak that the Trump White House is having is who Trump brought in to run his White House.
Yeah. The establishment.
Yeah, and if you look at who some of the people are that were brought in to run his White House, that were, the DC types, if you notice, some of them are not there anymore, and they're quietly being shepherded out.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's mistake number one. My personal opinion, Newt Gingrich should have been White House Chief of Staff on day one.
Yeah, that would have been a good move.
Donald Trump being the big person, idea guy. I envision this. Like Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan always had the big ideas of what I want to do. How let's go and do this. And he had a strong core of people that went out and made it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Newt Gingrich has been a lifelong DC guy. He would have been a good day-to-day guy running the White House, shepherding what the president wants through the White House, through Congress, and he would be good with the Twitter and the tweet. President Trump, knock it off. Here, I'll tell you what, you want to tweet something? Tweet this. Don't tweet that until later. I'll tell you when to tweet this and when to tweet that. And Trump would have respected Newt enough to understand the strategy.
How would you grade President Trump right now?
B plus.
B plus.
B plus.
You know, I'm going to give him a little bit better grade. I think it's an A plus, only because I think that he's had a lot of obstacles that I've never seen anything like it in my whole time watching politics. Is the media against him, his own party against him. It's just incredible the amount of opposition he's getting, and the people put him in that position.
So did Reagan.
Yeah.
Reagan got things done.
Yeah.
But Reagan also had a opposition Congress.
Yeah, well, you know, but
And there was no love for Reagan in the media. There was no love for Reagan.
but you know, but I think that you had Chief O'Neill that basically had the idea of common ground, and he was not like the Democrats today. He was like more like, you know, he cared about America. I just don't see the Democrats.
Oh no! Don't misunderestimate Tip O'Neill. Tip O'Neill tried to undermine Reagan many times. Iran Contra, Tip O'Neill, when the Marine affairs were fought,
Yeah.
it was Tip O'Neill that pulled the military funding that forced Reagan to pull out.
Yeah.
Don't forget that one.
Yeah, yeah,
And that weakened Reagan's hand.
yeah. Well, I think there's no question that Reagan ended up getting the upper hand.
He did in the end. But Donald Trump, but that was because Reagan also knew how to play to the audience. Donald Trump also provides a lot of the ammunition to his opponents.
Yeah, you know, I ran into, you know, I'm living here now in Las Vegas. I ran into a Trump employee that works at the local hotel here at the Trump International, and it was really amazing. A black lady, a young girl. She works in like housekeeping or something like that, and she was like really pro-Trump. She says, you know, Trump is really trying to help us get more wages in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, there's so many roadblocks, people trying to stop him from helping the people. He says she was saying that if they would only let Trump do what he wants to do, America would be great again.
Well, that's because, well, they can call it what they want. They can call it the D.C. They can call it the D.C. establishment. They can call it the deep state. Alex Jones and his tinfoil hat people who have a chin strap on their tinfoil cap, and him and Megan Kelly and their bomb shelter together. You can call it the Illuminati and Bilderbergers. You call it what you want, but you know as well as I do, there's the right way, the wrong way, and the D.C. way.
Yeah.
And D.C. has its own way of working and doing things. And it's nothing new. We saw it in Mr. Smith goes to Washington.
Yeah, exactly.
Jimmy Stewart ran into it.
Yeah.
and we saw it in when Al Pacino in Justice for All back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And we saw it again in the network back in the 70s. This is nothing new. And when you push this type of hornet's nest, they're going to push back, whether it's Republicans, Democrats, or whoever. Why are there Republicans and Republican commentators mad at Trump? Because by tradition, when a Republican administration goes in, all those guys were supposed to go get jobs in the administration, and they didn't.
Yeah. Well, I think.
And again, Dana Perino, George Will, Bill Kristol, they were supposed to be their turn, and they didn't.
Yeah. Well,
Byron York to that. They got left out. They're not happy. And who does Trump turn to? He's turning to people from the corporate and business world. He's bringing in people who have real world business experience in a variety of things. And he's bringing in people from the outside into a whole different universe.
And that really seems.
It's almost like bringing in a football coach to coach rugby.
Yeah. Well, but it's sort of like his philosophy about draining the swamp seems like that's exactly what he's doing.
Yes.
So it's not like Trump lied or he made people believe this, because a lot of these commentaries and hosts, and they never wanted Trump. They never even imagined Trump would even have a shot at winning the presidency. And I think that's what's happened to a lot of this, is the media lied so much. I call them the corrupt media. Many people call it fake news. I call it corrupt news. And so.
They're corrupt. You can't tell me that it's not agenda-driven.
Oh yeah.
They have an agenda. There are news and news events. I'm a news card event junkie.
Yeah.
And there are stories and things going on out there that are just being ignored, and you just scratch your head and wonder, how are they missing this? And it's because it's not unfortunate. How is it that in a 24-hour news cycle in a global world with things happening in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, Latin America, South America, Australia, New Zealand, the Marianas, the Marshall Islands, China, Japan, Russia, Outer Mongolia, all we have to talk about is Trump's emails? That's all there is that's happening in the world.
Or Russia.
Exactly. And it was proven back in December 2016 that General Flynn did collude. That was a front-page story on the Washington Post that the FBI cleared General Flynn. So why was General Flynn fired? Because he lied the vice president against.
Yeah. It's really amazing that all this stuff keeps just going out there and wasting valuable time on stories that just don't matter.
It does matter. It matters to the DC type, because if they can run out the clock, if they can waste the time, well, they're saying they run the clock till October, because that's what the current fiscal year is.
Yeah.
And then fiscal year 2018, sir. That's an election year.
Yeah, and then that's where everything is put.
That's what they're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. Run out the clock.
Run out the clock to the next fiscal year. And again, if you had somebody like Newt Gingrich who could come in and say, hey, knock this garbage off. Someone who knows where to pressure points go and put the right amount of pressure. Someone who knows not just which people to bring in, but which people from the outside to bring in and groom. That it would be something.
Yeah. Well, going back at the results and the opportunity that Trump has with the U.S. Supreme Court, I think that may be his greatest legacy, is being able to get U.S. Justices that are conservative. I think that may end up being a very powerful historical point.
All he did was maintain and establish status quo. It's been a 5-4 split.
What I'm saying.
He defended it. He didn't flip it. But if he had done something budget-wise, if he had been able to get a new healthcare policy in. Now, I agree with something that Mark Rubio could say. Let's do this right and not rush it like they did the first time.
Yeah.
We have all these paid union agitators that are rushing into town halls. You cannot tell me that these are upset citizens. When they're in there screaming single payer now with professionally made signs, no, they're Democrat paid agitators.
Sure.
You can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
And there are Republicans who are all for it. Oh my God, they're hurt my feelings. Well, why don't you do what like several other Republicans did in their district and have your people or have your central committee in there to push back, and they don't. And Republicans don't
Why?
Why? Because, I can tell you why. Because the moment there's a pushback, it's you'll have some kid with a cell phone camera. You'll have somebody from NBC News, ABC News, CBS News running some sort of a B-roll. They'll cut, and they give away. Well, this is so-and-so who was a paid volunteer such and such with the local Republican Party, like they tried to do with that young man who was at the Berkeley protest when he punched that young female agitator.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Until somebody, by luck, took a picture of from a different angle. They had a second angle of that, and she was about to throw a Molotov cocktail explosive, and he saw it, and he stopped her.
Yeah, exactly.
But from the original angle, it looked like, oh, she just stepped up and punched it, and it was a girl. And that started to run, and somebody said, no, that's not what she was doing. She had some sort of a incendiary device grant that she was going to throw at the Republicans or at the conservatives that were there.
Yeah.
And he stepped up and stopped her. Who knows what would have happened if he wasn't there to have stopped her.
Yeah.
And the moment that came up, and they thought, and it was going to have, what was going to happen? Notice how fast that story dropped.
Oh yeah. And it is pretty, but they're going to be.
The problem is, Republicans and conservatives have to be on this type of stuff all the time. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Why? Because the leftists, they have people, they have volunteers, they have true believers that dedicate their life to this type of thing. They tell Republicans that, oh, I have a family, or I have a job to do, I have other things that I have to go worry about. I don't have time for this. And what happens? The other side gets their message out. And then the Republicans are like, oh, well, how did that happen? That's not what happened. Yeah, because we dropped the ball and we took our eye off the situation.
Yeah, it seems to me that the Republicans just don't know how to fight or don't want to fight. It's just crazy stuff.
They know how to fight. Just watch the next major primary campaign that comes up. They know how to fight.
Well, I hope they
do better. Republicans do better fighting each other than they do against fighting the opponents.
Yeah, it sure seems like it. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that you think is vital to you right now that you need to get out there?
My biggest thing is with all this going on right now is anybody paying attention to one job and to the debt. Great, the deficit is being cut, but we still have $19 trillion out there in debt, number one. And number two, the jobs aren't coming around like that they should. And number three, you're in Vegas, but you're in a portion of Nevada that has been taken over by the union and other interests. I'm still behind the lines in enemy territory of occupied California.
Oh yeah.
So we have a state legislature that is 2/3 control, supermajority, that is already set to pass single-payer health care in California. Single-payer health care alone, the state budget analysis says it's going to cost $400 billion a year. California state budget alone that they just passed is $160 billion a year. Where are you going to get the money? They don't know. They said, oh, we'll just raise more taxes. They've already raised the gas tax here, 12 cents a gallon, because they want to pay for road repair and road construction. That's after they had a proposition ballot measure that was approved in the last election for road construction and road repair that was $1 comes up, that money is stolen by the legislature and is put to general fund, or it is absconded and used someplace else. It happens every time. People know it, but yet there are people who go, oh, but this is for our roads, this is for to fix our streets.
Well, I remember. I remember the great debate for when they were passing the California lottery. The big deal was that the money was going to be used for education, and that's what happened. Well, guess what happened? That money's not going into education; it's going into the general fund, like you're talking about. And
they did something tricky, and this was Republican Pete Wilson and Willie Brown. And there are stories about Willie Brown, and he just went, oh, by the way, you know who Willie Brown's protege is?
Oh, Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris.
Sure.
Willie Brown, and he loves to keep up with this great idea. Say this year, the lottery makes up 20% extra money for the California lottery. Well, they're going to take 20% out of education and spend it on something else because that money is being made up by the lottery.
Yeah. Oh, that.
The money's still going for education.
Yeah.
Yes, they didn't lie about that. It's just the money that was already originally earmarked for education. They're just taking that away.
Exactly. It's just a fuzzy math, the way they like to manipulate the numbers. You know, the other major problem in California right now is the pension crisis that they're trying to, forget about. But unfortunately, it's going to hit. It's going to hit hard.
The pensions and CalPERS. What these early people did was at the height of the stock market, they took the CalPERS retirement fund and put it in the stock market, just in time for the stock market to crash.
Exactly.
So you have $600 to $800 billion of unfunded liability and retirement bonuses of CalPERS, and this is everybody: nurses, teachers, government employees, law enforcement in the state of California. Their retirement money isn't there. So guess who has to cover that money?
Yeah. And exactly. But
I'll go one better. I will go one better. That is the biggest boondoggle joke of them all. And it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Which one's that?
High-speed rail.
Oh, yeah. That's another one.
Oh, God. And it's just more money being thrown away. They can barely get, they're tearing up a whole section of my hometown, my home city here in the Mosquito Valley, and they haven't even started in the Bay Area or LA, Southern California on that portion yet, and they are already billions of dollars over budgeted and past their deadline date. So
what you're telling me, it's going to go from Madera to Bakersfield? Is that the first phase?
I don't think it's going to get that far. It's probably going to go from Madera to Hanford. And for those of you that don't know, Madera to Hanford, it's like going from Las Vegas to Mesquite.
Yeah. That's a funny, but why we're talking about California is not only that it's very, very important, but what affects California really affects the nation. It affects the nation.
That's everything we've talked about. And you know that it's coming from California. Water.
Yeah.
Water. And that affects Arizona. And California cannot get their act together. We had a blessed. God finally went to the California Spirit and gave us a blessed winter.
Yes.
And
but a lot of it's being wasted. A lot of it's being wasted.
Our water storages were so bare, from bubble water that fell, not everything's at full capacity, but we're still dumping millions and millions of gallons of million people with an infrastructure for a population of 25 million, and within 3 years, we're going to be right back into a drop state on water restrictions.
Well, you know, sort of the good thing is that, from what I understand, a lot of Californians are leaving California and moving to other places like Texas and Nevada. I know I did.
Well, the bad thing about that is there's other people that are moving, that are moving and replacing them, that are being a drain and a burden on the economy. And what's happening is the state electorate continues to drop. And how does that affect the rest of the country? Because the further and further California falls into insolvency, the more and more of a debt that's going to pull the rest of the country. Because still, California, you and I remember the time when California was the world's fourth most powerful economic giant.
Yes.
Well, 7, 8 years ago, it dropped out to 9. It's climbed back to 6. And people are like, we're the 6th. Jerry Brown, man, it's the 6th most powerful economy in the world. Well, I remember a time when George W. Bush was running, they were the 4th.
Yeah. Well, but still, the services like education.
But that's 22% of the American economy, number one. And number two, with CalPERS, with high-speed rail, with water, with single-payer healthcare, when all this comes due, because we only have 12 Republican congressmen, 2 United States senators, and we are just like the rest of the country, Congress is going to have to put the bill to cover California's debt.
Exactly, and that's the bottom line, you know.
And I mean to set that up for everybody listening. They're like, oh, who cares? Don't forget California. I got out of California. I don't care about anymore. No, it's going to come back. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's going to come back again.
Yes.
And I'm trying to tell that to people. Oh, I don't live there. I've never been there. I get careless. And I keep telling people, friends in Pennsylvania, friends in Illinois. Oh, Illinois is having their share of problems too. Friends in Georgia, Ohio, all over the country. Oh, you need to start paying attention to what's happening in California. It's going to affect you too.
Yeah. So what's your plan now, Chris? What's your mission?
Right now, I'm looking for that thing to do, what I'm going to do when I grow up. I've been bouncing around and doing the grassroots and the here and there way too long. It's time to put roots someplace, find where I belong, and start doing that. California's home. I'm not ready to abandon home yet, but at the same time, I need to find that place, that spot, that job, that career job where I belong.
Well, let me say this.
God gave me all these skills, all these abilities for something, and it's like what Bono said in the U2 song. I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Well, let me say this: is that maybe you've been found, you just don't know it. The big thing that I would like to extend an offer to you, if you decide to relocate to Las Vegas, Nevada, it sounds like you have the passion and the fire in the belly to be a great radio, social media advocate on air, on live, and push your views out there, because it seems like you're a pretty intelligent guy that has things figured out and has solutions for America. And that's what we need to do, is we need to get a network of people that are thinkers, philosophers, that can get our country to be moving in the right direction. But you're a good writer, but maybe there's another vehicle for you too.
I appreciate that, but at the same time, I've always known I was born the a what's the example I'm looking for? A more messenger than the Nixon.
Well, let me say this. In our conversations that we've had, I see you as more than what is there. In other words, sometimes it's you put borders and restrictions on your limitations, and I think you're the kind of guy that I think you can go a lot further by utilizing more of the communication vehicles in the world, such as social media and radio, and I think that's important.
I have a friend of mine who's in radio, and he talks about doing a couple of things, but when I talk to him, he's got ideas in mind, and it's the old military adage, hurry up and wait, so
yeah.
Wait to see what happens with that, and
well,
I have got some force in the fire on a couple of things, and again, it's a whole lot of the waiting game.
Anyway, we gotta wrap this up. We've just got a few more minutes, so let's go ahead and go back to your contact information again. Spell out your name so people could follow you in your Facebook or whatever, and let's see what happens.
I am Chris, signature is Stetsco, and that's STETSKO. I can be found on Facebook, and I do have a LinkedIn profile that writes out everything I have on me. And if anybody's curious to know about me, hey, feel free to drop me a line.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for being our program, Conservative America. I really appreciate your time and effort, and we'll be talking later, further down the road. And so we'll talk to you later. Appreciate your effort.
Sounds good. Good talking to you again.
Okay, God bless.
You too.
So anyway, there you go. Another true patriot, a man that's out there to help make America great again. Just settling for something that doesn't work is not a good policy. And, we need to focus on making things great again and working hard to achieve those goals. So this is John Estrata with Conservative America. The number here is 559-803-0555. And we thank you for being on the show. It's been a great honor to be on the show and to be able to put the views out there for you. And I think as we get going, we'll be here Monday through Friday, 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you have any, you can always call in during the show time, and we talk about those very important issues. So I thank you, appreciate your time and effort, and you have a great day. God bless America. I see, Ann. You want to stop the show?